Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwartner. Welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the great pleasure of meeting with Hilman Sori. He is the co-founder and managing director of ClozeLoop. Welcome, Hilman.
Thanks so much, Gerhard. Happy to be here.
So how did you acquire the first customer?
Corey and I, in the process of all of this deconstruction and writing on napkins, we had this great idea as two people who had been operators and sales consultants and sales trainers, et cetera, in our collective body of experience. We thought, why don't we build software? So we went out and we got a couple engineers and we huddled away like people do. We're fortunate enough to get into YC's fellowship and started building a software coaching product. And then very soon realized that we're not product developers, but we're very persistent. So it's not like we gave up at that first pass. So we went out and we got a couple customers for this MVP of something. And then every customer in every conversation was telling us, Hilman, Corey, this is the software is okay. What I'm most interested in is your ability to train up the team. We love these frameworks and methodologies you keep talking about. The idea of having coaching somewhere that we could scale throughout the organization to help our frontline managers grow sounds fantastic. And if we could top down see what the team is doing to execute on the bottom, that's great. So can you help us build out all of this documentation, this content, this training, these processes, and then sure, we'll buy the software. So we're sitting there selling the software for like 10K ARR and offering like hundreds of thousands of dollars in professional services. And one day we're sitting there scratching our heads. And I remember I had a pen in my head and I was like, what if we just flip it? We said, you know what, let's get out of this software game, which is having us, I'm losing hair. His hair was getting longer. The more I lost, the longer his hair got. But either way, it wasn't healthy. And we said, let's go to our core competency. Obviously there's a need here. We were fortunate enough to listen to customers. And we went right back to the folks who said to us, software, yeah, if we got to buy that to do business with you, that's great, but we're more interested in this piece. And we took them our frameworks that we had really thought through extensively in this kind of deconstruction phase of some of the other sales methodologies that we had worked with, and that set fire. We're able to do in 90 days things that significantly impact that market that is trying to scale quickly, that is hiring lots of people, that has maybe folks in junior roles that they're counting on scaling up towards more senior management, or at least more progressive growth in their own selling role, going from maybe like an SDR to maybe 3 to 4 years being someone that's in strategic sales or enterprise sales. And that's what we love. That's our sweet spot. And it is all about speed, scalability, and also being able to hand over the keys.
What is the secret to continued collaboration and creativity when it comes to running a business with two heads?
First off, it helped that Corey and I had a working relationship prior to collaborating on this effort. So we understood where each other had strength. We had an opportunity to really just do that tough work of beating our heads against the wall and trying to do something that wasn't very exciting, but just required us rolling up sleeves, being innovative, sitting in rooms, whiteboarding at the middle of the night. He would come to my office at 5 p.m. and we'd work through the night on his challenge as a head of sales for this tech company. And so we understood one another's working style. But what has persisted, I think, is that we have a deep amount of respect and trust for the other's competencies, and we push each other. And the other piece is that there isn't a ton of overlap in the Venn diagram. Corey comes from, he's got a Wharton background, and he comes from a very systematic, operations-driven, I joke that he lives in spreadsheets, and what's beautiful about him is he's a systems and process guy. My side of the equation has always been more on the operator side, on coaching, management, and training. So bringing the two together, we really are able to, I think, if I can humbly say that we have a really decent purview from the vantage point of what's executable, what's strategic, what's overkill and over engineering, and what actually works when the person leaves the Zoom and actually has to go have a conversation, or leaves the conversation with their boss and has to actually go execute on something. What are the things that management is interested in, and what are the things that a salesperson actually needs to be successful? The other piece is that because of that, we work our butts off. We've always said we won't be outworked. I remember you asked me earlier, how'd you get your first customer? There's an image Corey sent me a little while ago from 5 years ago where we had books Our first book was in our backpacks and we were going around San Francisco back when, you were allowed to roam around, and we couldn't go through the front door to some of these buildings to get to these people that we wanted to talk to. So we went through the back entrance where the UPS comes, and they would always let us up the elevator so that we could go walk in and say, hey, could you give this to Gerhard? It's a book from Hillman, just wanted to get his feedback on it. And we were just pounding the pavement. You know what I mean? Because that's what you do as you're building a business. So those are the things, some of the things that I think have made us a successful partnership. And ongoing as we've grown, we've kind of bifurcated responsibilities to attempt to scale, because scaling a professional services firm isn't easy.
How many books have you created?
So there are 8 that are published, and there are 4 in various stages of development. I think that in the next couple months, you'll see our latest coming out of the oven. And we should have probably, Corey's going to kill me for committing to this, but I think we'll have 3 books this year.
You have the Sales Enablement Playbook, and you have the Sales Development Book. What is the third one?
We have Sales Playbooks, the Builder's Toolkit. We have Triangle Selling, which is our methodology. We have a Triangle Selling Field Guide that goes along with the methodology. 46 reasons why cold calls fail. I mean,
right.
Having somebody to teach you how to make cold calls is you're kind of grasping at straws there. But there are some things. There are 46 things that we've identified that actually could have a significant impact on your results. So that's why we wrote that book. Hiring, onboarding, and ramping salespeople is another book that we've published. And we've got 5 Secrets of a Sales Coach, because, we're firm believers that coaching is the glue, right? Coaching is what takes strategy and aligns it to execution and helps people to grow inside of their roles.
What is your vision 5 years from now in terms of size of the company?
There are 3 different elements to our company. There's ClozeLoop Consulting, which does sales strategy and training and enablement consulting. There's ClozeLoop University, which is our asynchronous learning platform, which is set up specifically for either independent learners, and we also use it to augment our engagement so that folks have a frictionless way to be able to engage their team, provide ongoing reinforcement after an engagement, and continue to learn inside of a portal that we've found is highly effective. And then we also have ClozeLoop Capital, which runs an accelerator and has multiple investments as partners in other seed funds. So frankly, there are a lot of ways this could go, right? One is that we move in the seed direction and we've got equity stakes, and this becomes something that's very interesting, and we're able to open up and do something that is aligned with a sales accelerator along the lines of maybe like a Y Combinator, except on the sales and go-to-market side, right? Very interesting to us. And then this is a yes, and we do see a great opportunity to continue to work with venture capital, private equity firms, and even those that find us through other means to grow in scope this closed loop consulting. We've actually we've doubled our team in the last 4 months, which creates all kinds of new and wonderful challenges and opportunities for us. And I think we finally figured out how our quality of delivery can maintain its consistency. That was our biggest issue, is how do you ensure the consistency of the quality of delivery across every engagement and ensure that they're going to have success after we leave and that the return on the investment is hit. So I think, 5 years, I don't know, 3 years, I think that I could see us being a 25, 30 person consultancy that has fingers in everything from seed stage all the way through growth, and is really doing some great things for our customers and helping them to achieve their goals. That's the bottom line, right? We succeed when our customers are hitting their revenue goals, hitting their tranches of fundraising, and scaling effectively to appease the investor market.
I think we just closed the loop.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Roman. This has really been a pleasure. I appreciate it. I have so much respect for you and for Selling Power Magazine and the work that you do for the community, and I appreciate the platform. Thank you so much.